another video. As always, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you're not a resident of Chi-Town, make sure you subscribe. And as always, sincerely thank you for sitting at this here table. Welcome back, guys, and as well, welcome back myself. You know what I mean? Once again, I took a delay off the internet. This time it was for my poor cat that needed to go to the clinic. Unfortunately, one of them had to go to the clinic. Storm had to go to the clinic, and you know how we feel about our pets. You know what I mean? They mean the world. It's like having an additional 2 kids in the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Storm feeling all better, jumping on the Funko Pops and destroying my setup. I mean, that's the same old Storm for you. But anyway, thank you for joining me. We are here to discuss a very important matter that has come to our attention, and I have to tell you, it is a very important matter indeed. Napheesa has basically blown up the freaking stage when it comes to the WNBA, and I'm telling you, she has blown it up. Obviously, I'm going to have my critiques because she has done it at a point in time, to me, that shouldn't have been done. But despite the fact, it still holds weight. But it would have even mattered even more if she would have done it when she wasn't exited out of the damn playoffs. Because now some people are going to look at it as a grudge. Obviously, after she announced what she had to say, we all seen it for what it was, and it was something that had to be spoken about. And obviously it has to deal with a lot of things that's been going around when it comes to the WNBA leadership front office. And oh my God, the Napheesa listen, check it out.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger.
Obviously, she had to clear that up.
League isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office.
Absolutely.
Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached.
And we have to admit, the officiating in the WNBA has been downright atrocious, downright freaking comedic. I mean, the best comedians were the referees of the WNBA. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not holding nothing back. It has been a comedy when it comes to the WNBA officials. And Napheesa is here to tell us as to why, and why the problem hasn't been addressed, and why the leadership front office is a bunch of people with no morals whatsoever, because we are going to find out what she is going to reveal when it comes to the main culprit in the freaking front office. Let's dive in.
Levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing.
They don't.
To also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders. Sorry, I had to walk here in my boot. I'm kind of. The league has a
take your time, gorgeous. Take your time.
CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth. That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way. They ignore the issues that everyone inside the game is begging to be fixed. That is negligence.
Absolutely. She has said it. That was very well spoken. It's absolute negligence. There are so many star players that are getting injured, from Caitlin Clark to Paige Beckers. So many players has been getting injured because the lack of officiating when it comes to the WNBA, holding players accountable for fouls beginning in the first quarter to it escalating into at the second and third quarter of the game. And that's why injuries happen, because you are not holding anybody accountable. You are not basically taming the wild freaking people that's out on the court fouling people like crazy. So what happens? they tend to foul harder when they're not toned down by the officials, which has been happening in the WNBA. And what happened to Napheesa in that playoff game when she got injured? She basically got short-uked out of the damn game.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
Wow.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league.
So you're telling me the response to what Napheesa just told you was that Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the WNBA's platform because without the WNBA she wouldn't be making nothing? Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Caitlin Clark has made millions before she even touched the WNBA court. She already had millions lined up. Let me correct myself because I don't stand above correction. Caitlin Clark already had millions lined up when she was going to the WNBA because everybody knew she was a hot commodity. Everybody knew she was a hot ticket and that they better either endorse her or they better have her name on one of their shirts, their logo, their cups, their mugs, their shorts, their basketball, whatever item you had available. Caitlin Clark's name was going to get you money if her name or image was on that item. Everybody knew that. For this asshole of a front office leader to say that Caitlin Clark should be grateful. I'm saying the name wrong because I'm so mad. Caitlin Clark was gifted with talent. Because thank God she had a father that implemented discipline in her and raised her. I mean, I'm obviously gonna give props to the mom as well because she came from a father and mom household. But Caitlin Clark had no one to thank but her parents, her family, not the WNBA, because the WNBA was gifted a freaking treasure because it's Caitlin Clark's presence. It's Caitlin Clark making the WNBA relevant. The WNBA is not making Caitlin Clark relevant. Caitlin Clark is making the WNBA relevant. I mean, if you want to be honest, if Caitlin Clark retires today, she's well off in life. She's well off in life. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark to thrive because the WNBA has not been thriving for years. The last 2 years that they made money and still lost money, but they did make some type of money. Obviously, they didn't achieve their goal, but they made more money than before because of Caitlin Clark. And for her to say that, it's just pure asinine.
On their knees, thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's the mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect.
You can't make this shit up.
Us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them. I have the privilege of watching my husband run a league where he has to balance 100 different things at once. I won't pretend the job is easy, but even with all of that on his plate, he always takes the time to reach out to players when he sees an injury, whether it's Unrivaled or even during the WNBA season. That is what leadership looks like. It's the human element. It's basic integrity, and it's the bare minimum any leader should embody. This year alone, I've gotten calls, texts, and well wishes from so many players across the league. Those moments remind me that sometimes there are things bigger than the results than this game we play. But do you know who I haven't heard from? Kathy. Not one call, not one text. Instead, the only outreach has come from her number 2 telling my agent that she doesn't believe physical play is contributing to injuries. That is infuriating. And it's the perfect example of the tone-deaf, dismissive approach that our leaders always seem to take.
That is crazy. The way she's calling out the front office, and Napheesa is not a nobody. She's one of the top players of the WNBA. The way she's calling out the front office is gonna put a freaking Gordon spotlight on the WNBA's leadership. I'm talking about, the Batman type spotlight on the freaking leadership of the WNBA. That's what's gonna happen now. And I do believe it's going to cost them their jobs. A lot of them in the front office. It's going to cost them their jobs. You cannot have one of the top players of the league calling you out for lack of leadership and also releasing the statements that you echoed to her when she brought the issues to your attention, and the lack of appreciation by stating that players should be groveling and bending their knees to me for what I've done for them. Who do you think you are?
I've grown tired. For too long, I have tried to have these conversations in private, but it's clear there is no intention of accepting there's a problem. The league has made it clear it isn't about innovation, it isn't about collaboration, it's about control and power. I've earned this platform and I've paid the price to get here, and now I have a responsibility to speak on behalf of the fans and everyone in this league that deserves better. Our leadership's answer to being held accountable is to suppress everyone's voices by handing out fines.
Wow.
I'm not concerned about a fine.
Yep.
I'm concerned about the future of our sport.
Listen, I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this because I think we basically heard the gist of everything Napheesa has to say when it comes to the statement she's made during her exit interview. And I have to admit, a lot of people is going to be held accountable. And I have to also admit, a lot of players better stand behind Napheesa. They better stand behind her and push the decision to get rid of the majority of the front office this year. This year. You want to wait till the off season? Okay, that'll be fine. But you better get rid of the majority of the people in the front office. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. We don't want to see them again. You have one of the top players of your league releasing statements that makes the front office so freaking liable for what has been happening to top players of the league, aka Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers. Even to some degree, Angel Reese, who's also been injured this year because of lack of officiating. A lot of players who are the top players of the league have been injured because the lack of responsibility the leadership has taken when it came to the officiating of their games. And it has to stop now in the year 2025 before heading into the following season that is coming up, that is going to basically have a big statement when it comes to money going to the players, when it comes to more commercializing, when it comes to a lot of endorsements that have taken that has taken place to get the league more money. But all of that will be fine and dandy when it's under brand new leadership. It has to happen. Now that Napheesa that has come out and put their asses on the freaking fire. She put them on the fire. This is one of your top players. You can't ignore this. You can't ignore this. I am a little disappointed, and a lot of people may be upset with me when it comes to this. A lot of people may be upset with me when it comes to this. Caitlin Clark cannot say she has no comment about the situation, because Caitlin Clark is one of the players that have been complaining about the officials. Her and Sophia Cunningham. This is the time for you guys to also step up, even if it comes to your social media platform, and address the issue once again. Now that is out in the air, because Napheesa said it on the podium, despite the fact that she may get fined. And I guarantee you this, and maybe it's happened. I'm not above correction, like I always say. Napheesa will not get fined for this, because they know if they fine her for this, they'll even look even worse. They'll look even worse if they find Napheesa for coming up with this statement. I would love to hear your opinion about this whole situation. Make sure you put it down in the comments. I always answer my comments. I always 100% answer most of my comments. As if you take a look at the history, you'll see that I always answer. This is Black Shy Guy, and as always, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you're not a freaking resident of Chi-Town yet, listen, make sure you subscribe. I'm not playing with you. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Anyway, this is Black Shy Guy. I'm out of here. Peace.
Dunking and hitting jumpers, kept Marvin Rich with him. Leo Rose like, why you dump us? Saturday's deposit, chasing SunTrust. Word to Donald, that no one will ever trump us. About to put that in my bio.